I have an email marketing question. What is the best way to respond to email and online inquiries regarding price, services, pre-need, etc.? Well, one thing that we did was we conducted a market research in 10 markets, and we sent email pricing inquiries to 8 to 10 funeral homes in these 10 different markets. What we were doing was we wanted to see what the response times were, and sometimes we would send them to an email address if we could see the email address. Sometimes we would just add it to the contact form. Some of them, it was like really hard to connect with these funeral homes. So they're, no wonder they're wondering how come they're not having a tough time with business. So first of all, make sure that you have both your email address on your website and your a contact form. And some people are going to say, well, my web developer said don't have your email address on there because you're going to get spam. Well, maybe that was the case 4 or 5 years ago. Spam filters are pretty good now, and I would rather get a little bit of spam that I have to delete than have someone not send me a request for information. And what we found was first of all, you want to have a stock email response ready to go. And whether it's a pricing inquiry or a pre-need inquiry, have that in a Word document or a Google document or something where you can just then take that, copy it and paste it, obviously edit it to make sure that you're answering their questions. If you have a PDF or you have a link, go to a specific page on their website. Now, don't just send them to the homepage on your website, because if they've sent you an email inquiry or a web form inquiry, they've already been to your website. But maybe point them to a specific page that's talking about pricing, or a specific page that's talking about testimonials. You can add there could be 2 or 3 resource links in there. Again, things that are going to separate you from your competitors. And a lot of when we did the study, one thing that we found out, like, we'd ask for prices and give them the prices. Some people would say, oh, you know what? It's really complicated. Phone us. Well, if people are using the internet, they assume that they can get as much information as possible on the internet or via email. Maybe they're not ready to talk to someone. So I was just blown away that people would just not even. And granted, it's hard you just don't want to send your GPL either. You want to be able to explain that. So, I would recommend saying, oh, well, here's our prices, or here's a link to our prices, and we have a video explanation of our prices on that page. So if for the people that say, oh, well, I want to be able to explain our prices, I can do it better than anyone else. Perfect. Get a microphone and get a program like Audacity on your website or on your computer, which is an free audio, and record you answering what are your prices for a funeral service. Record it, take that audio and put it on your website, because you're not going to be able to answer every call. And people will actually feel more comfortable listening to that on their own when they don't feel like, that I have to phone this person, and what if I feel uncomfortable? Make them feel at home and make them feel in a non-threatening environment. And we've got part of the Price Shopper Secrets program that I did with Kubasec. We have a complete module dedicated to email price shoppers. The other thing that you want to do is respond immediately. So email comes in, you let your staff know that, hey, this is hot. Like, all your marketing has worked to this point because people have found you and they say, hey, we need some information. So now it's your opportunity to lose this call. So you want to respond immediately. That's why you have your stock email response ready to go and send that out. Then at the end of the day, say 4 or 5 o'clock, send an email again and just say, hey, Rob, I just wanted to follow up from my email earlier today. I know that looking and gathering information for funerals is quite difficult. Maybe you have new questions that have arisen over the course of the day. Here's my cell phone number. Feel free to call me and I can answer those for you. Now, maybe like people say, well, I don't want to give them my email or my cell phone number. And I'm saying, well, I guess you really don't want that call enough, do you? But if they're going to call you, then it's going to be a legitimate call. And whether, it's at dinner or, in the evening, you're going to want to take that call. But even if they don't, you've given them your cell phone number, and that's only people who are kind of friends with each other do that. People just don't kind of throw that out there. So it's just another trust building way that you can separate yourself from your competitors.